People can join on as they come in. And just remember that whenever you get on, if you would type your name, title, and if you belong to a kid, what the kid's name is. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Put that in the chat box for me.
Miss Tiger, this is my mask.
Okay.
I want to talk to you.
Okay. No. Jay. No. Go. Here, go put it up.
Okay, I'm excited tonight because tonight we have like a bunch of really cool people to give us a lot of really cool information that's going to be super duper helpful this school year. So here we are, 2020, 2021 school year, and it has started out with a bang. 2020. Y'all, this is going to be a year in the history books, right?
Sit right here. No.
And we're all adjusting our lives to a whole new normal, right? Like so much is like going on, COVID, all this other kind of stuff. Everything's just kind of thrown us all a little off balance. And I mean, we are all human and everybody deals with stress. I have stress, like, oh my gosh, I have work and I have a teenager who's trying to learn how to drive. Jesus. So it's like we all got a whole lot of stuff going on. And then in the world of technology, it's like if you didn't know how to use a computer before this, like we should all be experts at this point. We should all be experts, like everything is virtual. And I miss having my face-to-face parent groups. We're going to do it. We're going to do it one day. We are going to do it one day. I miss y'all, miss connecting with y'all. You know I love you. So tonight, though, one thing I really wanted to talk about with parents is coping skills and stress management and social and emotional learning, because this year is super, super important. And it's like, it's major this year. Because so many of our kids we aren't seeing face to face. I wish we could, but we can't. And then the ones that we are seeing face to face, we're still adjusting to the school year. And so we want to do all that we can to be supportive of our babies. You know, I call all y'all children my babies, right? We want to be super supportive of our children and our families. We are here for you. So tonight I was like, yay, we got some really cool people. We've got, actually I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. I'm gonna hush and let them introduce themselves. I'm just gonna say your name and just say hi. So we have Miss Lindsay Taylor. This wouldn't be possible without her because she is the tech expert.
I'm not sure about expert, but I got this.
Miss Lindsay is our school librarian and she is super. And then we have Miss Arvello, Dawn Arvello, our counselor.
Hey, everybody.
Yay. Miss Kimbrough is one of our super teachers. Say hi, Miss Kimbrough. You're on mute, baby.
Okay. Hello. Sorry.
Yes, and we have Miss Carrie Reeder. Miss Carrie Reeder works for our student support services. She is one of our licensed counselors. Yes, say hi.
Hello.
Yay.
Hey.
Oh, he said hey.
He said, hey.
And then I see Miss Chelsea. Miss Chelsea Kirk works for ADAC. Yes.
Yes.
That Miss Candy.
Hi.
Yes,
Say hi.
he is. He is that Miss Robot.
And we have Miss Cindy Vargas. Miss Cindy Vargas also works for ADAC, Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council. Say hi, Miss Cindy.
Hello.
Yay. And we have our assistant principal, Mr. Draper, on here.
Hello.
And we have another super special guest, Miss Stephanie Warner. She is with the Texas Workforce Commission. And she has some information she's going to share with us in a little bit about what they do. Say hi, Miss Steph.
Hello, everyone.
And then we also have one of our super duper pre-K teachers, Miss Mosby. Okay. All right. So, and we've got Miss Shantae Rogers, one of our parents, Miss Felicia Robertson, one of our parents. Yay. I'm so glad y'all are on here tonight. Okay, so I wanted to get started with Miss Carrie Reeder. We're going to talk about mental health matters. I'm a hush now and let her talk.
So like Ms. Keisha told you, I am Carrie Reeder. I am a therapist I'm actually a licensed master's of social work, and I work for Special Education Department of Nacogdoches ISD as a therapist, and Carpenter is one of my campuses. So I work with special education students that need therapy. My master's is a specialty in mental health and substance abuse. So I just want to talk to you about, sometimes we recognize easily that our kids have physical needs, like we can see that they are cold or they're hungry. Sometimes we need their boo-boos. I'm sorry, hold on just a second. Okay. Sorry, I have a child here, so y'all, if y'all hear her, I have a 4-year-old. So sometimes whenever we see those things, it's easy for us to recognize, but mental health is a little bit different. And I'm sure we all have like our pandemic story, but my pandemic story is that during lockdown, that me and my daughter were home together. It seemed like 30 hours a day. It was never ending. And she was literally bouncing off the walls. And I just thought it was like a behavioral issue, honestly. But then one day we were outside on the swing and she started to cry and say how she had no friends and she had nobody to play with. And all of a sudden a light bulb came on and I realized that my child was having some mental health issues go on. And I had to make a decision to send her back to daycare, even in the midst of a pandemic, which was a very difficult decision for all of us to do during school. So with that being said, I just want you to understand that mental health is just as important as physical health. And there's study after study that show that the correlation between physical health and mental health is there, and vice versa. So some of the things that you can do is to nurture self-confidence in your child. And this can be done by giving like positive affirmations. We have like a little pep rally in the car every morning before we go to school. And I ask her if, what's she going to do with today? And she says she's going to rock it. And then we say like, what are you going to make today? And she says, we're going to make it amazing. And I say, well, why are we going to make today amazing? And she says, because we're amazing. So that's like our little pep rally that we do in the car every morning before we get out. So given those positive affirmations and just telling them, when they do a good job, when they have good manners, praising them when they attempt things or take chances. I always think those things are very, very important. Having realistic goals for them, like give them tasks that challenge them, but don't make it where it's impossible for them to achieve it. Be honest and be willing to let your kids know when you make mistakes, and when you mess up, apologize to them, say, I messed up, I got angry, I was sad, and just let them know that, you're human too. Also, one of the things I wanted to talk about is whenever you get onto your child for a behavior, I always like to say the thing that they did was bad, not that the child is bad. And I think a lot of times we say, oh my gosh, that's so bad, or you're acting so bad, instead of you're a bad kid, or you're just bad all the time. So those are like really good ways of making sure that we're honest with our kids, making sure that their mental health is taken care of. And something else that is a physical need, and I think is super important, is sleep. our kids are so plugged in. A major issue with our kids right now is electronics. They stay on electronics all the time. But sleep is major. It's such an important key to emotional health, and it helps with their behavior at school as well. But if we just make them unplug for about 30 minutes to an hour before they go to bed each night, kind of let their brain shut off, then they get good restorative sleep that helps with that behavior and with all those emotional things. And set a bedtime routine for those kids. And so every night's not a challenge trying to get them to go to bed, because I know once we set that routine, she knows that our routine's starting. This means we're eating, we're taking a bath, we're shutting the tablet off at a certain time, and that means we go and we get rested and we start laying down and kind of turning off. And that has helped her to not challenge me as much at bedtime, because it was a challenge at times. So I know those are just like a few quick tips. And I want to thank you guys for having me, and see if anybody has any questions about anything.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Miss Carrie? Super. I thank you so much, Miss Carrie. That was so super informative. I know, I can share our quarantine story. Mental health matters for real, and I can share this, and she's sitting right here. Being in quarantine for all of this time with a teenager, and teenagers have some unique mental health needs themselves. No, I'm just playing. But just knowing that our kids, the socialization that they're used to having has been cut back a little bit. Some of our babies are at school, some of their friends are virtual learners. So it's, still being able to fill in those gaps as we can. And that is so super important. One of the things that I did want to share, stress is out there, but there is also help out there. And I'm going to share, I need to do a screen share too. Ms. Lindsay, is it possible for me to do a screen share while there's already a screen share up?
Try it. Let's see.
Okay.
I do have multiple screen sharing options up, so.
Look there. Okay. Okay. Yes. These are a list of mental health resources that I often share with families. And I don't mind getting these out to you. I'm going to be sending a packet to the parents that are on tonight. I'm going to be sending y'all a packet with some informative information anyway. And I'm going to stick this in there just so that you have it. It's always good just to have a go-to list just in case. So that's that.
I had to change my view options to see yours. I don't know if anybody else has to do that or not. But I had to go up and, like it said, shared screen, Cindy Vargas and K-Tet. I had to click on your name. So just FYI, if everybody else was having trouble.
Okay.
I was trying to figure that out. Thank you.
That's you.
Yeah, I was like,
I was too. I was like, I don't see it. Can you show me?
Good to know. Look at us learning together.
Yes. Yeah. So, like I said, for my parents, I'm going to definitely be sending this info out to you just so that you have it. And of course, if you are ever struggling and have questions and you're worried about your baby, me and Ms. Arvello are at Carpenter, and we are more than available for you anytime. Okay, so next on our agenda, I've got Ms. Arvello, our school counselor. She's so super. She's going to share some info with us tonight about social and emotional learning. When I was coming up with a theme for tonight's parent training, I kept thinking educating the whole child, because teachers teach, teachers are awesome, teachers are super. And it's like we get so focused on academic, grades, tests, grades. But then, like, there's some stuff underneath the surface that if that's not quite right, then academics isn't going to be where we would really like for it to be. So it is like educating the whole child, knowing that a child, and I say this all the time, and I might get in trouble for saying it, but it's okay. Our children are more than a test score. They are emotional creatures, they're social creatures, and like there's so much to them. So we gotta educate the whole child. So I'm gonna hush again because I talk too much. And I'm gonna let Ms. Arvello talk to y'all about what we do as far as social and emotional learning.
Thank you for that. But I have to start off with, I have no idea how to share my screen. So I don't know what I need to press. Oh, wait. Let me see. If I go down to the bottom of this, share screen. It's only in big words in green. There we go. No, that one maybe. All right, let's see what that happens. Let's see. And I'll go to that. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, now I'm in the way. How do I get that smaller or change it? All right, that'll work. Kind of, I think, I hope. All right, so now let me try this again. See the wonderful little presentation at first, social emotional learning. So I want to talk about at first, what does that mean? And social emotional learning is the process through which people, everybody, children, adults, everybody, acquire and effectively apply the knowledge, attitudes, skills necessary to understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. Now, earlier we spoke about how, like Carrie's daughter felt like she had no friends because we can't be face-to-face as much anymore. I know that has changed. We are now face-to-face back, some of us at school, some are not. But within that, and along with, I think, the way society is changing and becoming more virtual, there are all kinds of different, I don't know if venue is the right word, but different ways to communicate, you know, your Facebook, your Twitter, your, I don't know, what is that little, oh shoot, I can't remember what the TikTok, that kind of thing. That although there's a way to communicate, I still think we are losing social skills, because there is a different way that you would communicate through the computer, through a screen, through your little fun apps, as opposed to face-to-face and dealing with difficult issues and hard times. And so I think people are having a harder time dealing with maybe even life and just how to get along and have empathy for others, and be able to relate to one another. So with that said, there is more to the development of people than just academics, and we need to develop the whole child. This includes academics along with social emotional learning. If we don't help our children with those skills, it is going to be harder for them to be successful in the world, with just friends or at work or even in the family. I know, think of it, that 2-year-old that just wants what they want when they want it, and they sure don't like the word no. And we have to work with them and help them learn that it's not all about what they want. There are times when no is the appropriate answer. I mean, if they're going with a key to that plug, you're not going to say, yeah, go ahead, put that key in that little outlet. That's fine, because it's not. It's dangerous. And so they need to learn that there are boundaries, and they need to respect the boundaries for all those around them, really. So I have a little small, short little video that I found about social emotional learning. I think it's a little over 2 minutes. If we'll watch that, please.
There's a lot of talk these days about SEL, social emotional learning. But what exactly is it? Social emotional learning is the process of learning social and emotional skills, and it's just as important as learning reading or math. This learning process is most effective when it begins early and continues through high school. Social emotional skills are essential for success in school, work, and life. With SEL, students learn to manage their own emotions and behaviors, have empathy and show care and concern for others, solve problems effectively, make responsible decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. Students learn to recognize what's happening inside them and to be aware of their emotions, which helps them deal with strong emotions and impulsive behaviors. It helps them stop, take a breath, and think about a situation before acting. Students learn to identify others' emotions and perspectives, which helps them empathize and show compassion, no matter who they are or what their background is. It's not difficult to imagine how this is important in the classroom and in life. Students learn to solve problems in peaceful ways and communicate assertively about what they need or want. This helps them get along with other students and get the help they need from adults. When students learn to make responsible decisions about their lives and their future, things can turn out better. Research shows social emotional learning makes a difference. Students who participate in SEL do better academically, have improved attitudes and behaviors, and act in delinquent or disruptive ways less often. In the United States, students with strong social emotional competence are twice as likely to earn a college degree and nearly 50% more likely to graduate from high school and have a full-time job by age 25. Just as important, students who are socially and emotionally competent have more friends. This means they're more likely to feel connected to school and do well, and less likely to be left out or bullied. Simply put, by participating in social emotional learning, students learn the skills to succeed in every facet of school and the rest of their lives.
So then, what do we do? So the school's responsibilities are we provide social emotional lessons. At Carpenter, we use Sanford Harmony and Character Strong. Those are two curriculums, different curriculums. Character Strong basically deals with a lot of character traits like gratitude and empathy and working on getting the kids to recognize what those things are, kindness. And then Sanford Harmony works on building a community, trying to make sure that everybody kind of fits in and feels safe and secure at school. We are to provide a safe, caring environment for your students. I provide guidance lessons to support the different character traits and social emotional development. And then when needed, Ms. Ted and I both will provide small group or individual short-term counseling to help students through difficult situations or help develop and practice social and emotional skills. And honestly, I suppose that's Ms. Carrie Reeder's job as well with our SPED kiddos. So here I have a document that I've prepared, the teachers use, I sent it out to them, and it has the different things that they can use for Character Strong. I just thought I'd show you guys kind of what it looked like. Hopefully it will work. All right. So I sent this link out to all of our teachers, and as you see here, each grade level has a link to their own section. I will use second grades. Basically, each grade level has their main page, and then within that there are links to different things and activities that they can do throughout the time frame that we're going to study that characteristic, that character trait. This month's character trait is gratitude, and so here you'll see there's a quote. This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before. And then in the corner, then we can have the teachers can ask them questions. What's something you are hopeful for today? What are 3 things you're grateful for today? How will you practice gratitude today? And that's just to get them thinking about gratitude. And we take a lot of things for granted. We don't stop and think about it. We get stressed out. We focus on the negative instead of the positive. And so then we get overwhelmed and we get down and we get depressed. When we can just focus on gratitude, it turns a lot of stuff around. So there's pictures and there's quotes and videos like this one with
Some days are hard. So
president,
this.
the kid
This
president video in there. So they can click on an activity. They can watch it. There's a book about gratitude for each grade level. There are activities that they can practice around the school or in their classrooms. So each grade level has that. And then they can work on, again, they can work on that throughout the time. All right, let me figure out now how to go back to what I want. There we go. All right, and then, all right, so what can you guys do? How can families help? Read stories together. Talk about the characters, how they're feeling. Talk about the problems that happen in the stories and how they solve them. And did they solve them in a good way, or would there have been a better way to handle that? Playing games together. That allows your child built-in opportunities to learn how to take turns and handle frustration and learn how to handle not winning or learn how to handle winning appropriately. I have a son who, right now I have 2 left at home. I had 7, now I'm down to 2. And I have one at home who gets excited and jumps up and down anytime anybody wins. He's so excited. Then I have the other one who sulks and whines if he's not the winner. And so actually, I love to say, haha, you know, didn't win this time, but how do you handle that? Because he's got to learn to be a good loser. That we can't win everything in life, and he needs to learn how to be a graceful loser and a graceful winner because he likes to rub it in when he wins. So, you know, you have to learn how to deal with everybody and not make anyone feel bad about that. So, and then when your child's having a difficult time, sometimes you need a space in your house where they can just go and get away. Sometimes that's their bedroom. Sometimes it could be a tree outside, a little tree house, or I used to have a space up in the garage that was up and away from everything, and I'd put a pillow up there and I'd stay back there. We want them to be able to get the space that they need to kind of calm down and think things through. If she or he just wants to get their way, we can't always let them have it. So they have to learn how to deal with having problems and having trouble, and how to deal with a no being said. And then if you're having problems in a certain area, learning to accept no, being a good friend, being thankful for what they have, you're more than welcome to come or call us up. Miss Tut and I would be glad to help you find resources to help you with your kid. I've got all kinds of books. I was Googling away, you know, coming up with ideas for this, and YouTube, there's all kinds of videos, and for just basic videos, a lot of the things like the Inside Out movie is dealing with emotions. That's a great one. Or there's all kinds of books about learning to be okay accepting no, or learning how to take turns, or being responsible. Type that in the search engine for YouTube. You may want to watch it beforehand because sometimes those are questionable, but you could find lots of resources online that would be very helpful as well. So I don't know what you guys think or feel, but that is my portion. Are there any questions that I can answer for anybody? Wonderful, Ms. Tutt, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Arbello. I love the activities that I've seen the teachers do with the kids as far as the Sanford Harmony stuff, because it really gets them to thinking more outside the box, I guess. It's really cool though. So next we are going to have our community partners. We've got ADAC and we've got the Workforce Center. I'm gonna go ahead and let Miss Stephanie just kind of give you some insight about what's new and what they got going on over at the Workforce Center. Like, I was excited when she was telling me about some of the stuff. I was like, "Ooh, I didn't know y'all did that."
Hello, everybody. So I am here from the Workforce Office, and I am very excited about partnering with Emmeline Carpenter. Hello, Lindsay. It is wonderful to see you. Hi, LT. Yes, it's me. I'm excited about this because I am a former Emmeline Carpenter employee. Yes, so being able to do this is a joy. I was employed as the campus secretary, so I know the importance of being able to bring our parents in and being able to have them involved. Right now at the Workforce, we have a program that is called the WIOA program. We call it the WIOA program, and it's for our parents and for community members that are not employed. It helps them to go back to school. So if you know any parents that are needing to go back to school, they need trade assistance, any parents that are looking for help with that, send them my way, please, because that will help with stress. We're talking about stress. That's stressful. In the midst of all of this, not having a job, wanting to change jobs, you've lost your job, that does add stress into a household. It really does. And I know with our Carpenter parents, because of where our campus is settled, that is at a higher rate. And sometimes we don't like to talk about it, but as we know our kids on our campus, send them my way, please. I'm going to give Keisha my contact information. We also have a program that is called HOPE. HOPE is for ex-offenders, and that program helps them to readjust. We have a lot of programs at the Workforce. We have a program that helps them get their GED. We have a program that helps them get their high school diploma. We have so many programs right now, and we have so much funding. It is ridiculous. So I had to make sure to be on this meeting because I wanted y'all to know this. And I wanted to make sure Carpenter knew this first, because Carpenter is near and dear to me, very near and dear to me. So I wanted y'all to know everything that we have going on. And I wanted to partner with y'all so when things happen, y'all can know about it. We even have money in our youth program. So youth mothers or youth fathers that are 16 to 24, we have partnerships with companies that they can work at a company and get paid at the very same time. We're also helping with job search because so many people are unemployed. We're helping them find jobs. We are so busy right now, but we have time. My program I'm assigned to is the non-custodial parent program. So if you know any fathers or mothers that are the non-custodial parents that need help in finding a job, send them to me. I am going to give Keisha my contact information. And any of you feel free to contact me at any time, please. And that's all that I have.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Stephanie. That was super informative. I do have a question for you. Do they still have a program that helps like with childcare?
I'm sorry. Yes, we do still have the program, that's CCS. And when customers are enrolled into our other program, you are automatically enrolled into CCS. So it goes hand in hand.
Okay. Okay.
Hand
Cool.
in hand.
Cool. Okay. Do you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
any brochures?
Not on me right now that I can send through the phone for Zoom. Because
No.
you didn't tell me to have that.
No. I
But
was
I do
saying
have
no. I
brochures.
just thought about it. I'm gonna get some from you, so that I can just
Okay.
kind of share them. Okay.
Please.
All right.
Please. I
Thank
have
you,
a
Miss.
bunch of them for you.
Thank you, Miss Stephanie.
No
Okay.
problem.
And now we've got my friends from the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council, Miss Cindy, Miss Chelsea. Hey, y'all.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, so they're going to talk to us about coping, like as adults. How do we cope with stress? One of the biggest things that I am sharing, especially with my teachers this year, seriously, I'm telling my teachers, self-care. Self-care is super important because if you don't take care of you, all the little people that you're trying to take care of, you're not going to be of any help to them. We have to take care of our mental health too. Even if that means you taking a break from electronics sometime, even if that means you getting away to a quiet place and meditating or listening to some music or exercising, taking a walk, enjoying nature, just knowing how to calm yourself. Those things are important because our little ones can pick up on that energy when we are super stressed and we're super frustrated. Our little ones can actually pick up on that. So it's really important that we're taking care of our mental health too. And even if that means turning off the news, I do not watch the news. I just don't do it. But even if that means sometimes just stepping away from the internet and just kind of blocking that out just enough to get your mind back in a good place, because our kids can sense our stress and we have to take care of us because nobody else is going to take care of us. We got to do it. And especially we as moms, because we are working, we are cooking, we are cleaning, we are wiping little noses, and we are doing it all. And we're being super moms, and then who takes care of mama? So that's my little spiel on coping. Now I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Cindy and Miss Chelsea, and they're gonna give you some really cool information.
Yes. Well, thank you. And Kaisha, you are correct about this. As a matter of fact, all the panelists, they've actually been correct. We need to be able to find different ways of being able to cope, especially during this time. And I'm going to share a little story right before that. We're going to be talking about coping with stress without having alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. So in the midst of when COVID first started, my husband ended up having COVID. We were being in isolation, and then I ended up getting custody of two of my grandkids, two 4-year-old boys at 50 years age. I am telling you, I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown. I wasn't ready to be a parent again. So I needed to find different ways to be able to cope. And one of my doctors told me, he goes, well, why don't you take up, scrapbooking or even doing word search puzzles? And I did. After a while, I started buying, every time I went to the dollar store, I started buying a whole bunch of different word search puzzles. Now my husband says I'm a hoarder and I'm OCD. So now I'm constantly looking at the books, trying to get rid of them. So that on top of that is stress. So I wanted to share that with you because it is very easy for us to be very vulnerable, especially during this time, as maybe some people being unemployed or laid off because of COVID, and also the holidays approaching, not being able to be with loved ones because of COVID or financial reasons, anything like that does tend to put a lot of strain. And some of the stress is good. It keeps us focused and motivated, but sometimes stress can be bad. It's how we manage and how we're able to cope with it that'll make the difference. A lot of people are not able to cope or have the tools to be able to de-escalate, some of the pressure that's on them. So they tend to use alcohol and other drugs, but that's just kind of an escape, a temporary escape. And I always tell my youth that, you're doing drugs, trying to escape, when you get off your high or whatever it is, you're still going to have those problems, and it's probably going to be worse for you. So look at this on the PowerPoint. It has all these different type of stressors. Now, I don't know about you all, but I go through all these on a daily basis, financial, household, I got to do this, I got to do that. That's on a daily basis. And it could put a lot of strain on us. So what is it that we need to do? How can we avoid some of this stress? And I always say that, finding your stress triggers, finding what triggers you, triggers off your stress, and being able to find coping skills to be able to de-escalate or manage the different types of coping. Because if you don't start managing your your stressors, they're going to get out of control, and they're going to be worse and much bigger than maybe they possibly are. Some of the symptoms of being stressed too much can be chest pains, headaches, racing thoughts, irritability, the fatigue, the overwhelming, not being able to focus. Think of many times that you've either been so overly stressed because of either COVID, financial, whatever the situation is, and look how many of those you've actually possibly had. I know for me, getting custody of my 2 grandkids during COVID and my husband having COVID, I mean, I went through all these. I didn't know if I was having a stroke, a panic attack, a heart attack, or just going out of my mind. And I felt all the physical ailments. I was physically drained. I was mentally drained. So a lot of this, it does attack you. And all the stressors attacks the whole person. And we have to be able to de-escalate or decompress at the end of the day, taking time for yourself. Things that you can control. Worry about the things that you're able to control. Don't worry about anything else that you can control. I can't control the weather. Why am I going to worry about it? There's things that I cannot control in my world, but things that I am able to control, you can work on that. I always say, there's some people that, when I've talked to them, they say, well, I don't know how to control my anger. Well, find different coping mechanisms, because anger can be one. What is the trigger on that? What is causing you to get so angry, for example? There's a little head popping up here, I'm sorry. And, being able to find out what you can handle, and making a plan and being able to plan ahead can release some of that stress. For example, people who are coming in late, either to work, if I'm coming in late to work because now I got grandkids and I'm always trying to beat the clock, or maybe getting up a little bit earlier, trying to avoid all those main streets that have a lot of traffic. I can control those situations, so it'll kind of alleviate some of the anxiety and the stress. But again, like weather or the flu, those things are just out of your control. Don't worry about those. Trying to worry about something you can't control, it's just, it's pointless. Here's pump your brakes, boo. How many of you have done that in the past when everything becomes so overwhelming and you start, whoa, I have to just stop and take a breather? Whether it's going outside, looking at the trees, listening to the birds, taking a walk in the park. I always used to say, I like cleaning because it helps me to relax. But then I found that I was doing this so constantly, it seemed like my work was I was being consumed by my work, when in reality, it was supposed to have been to kind of help me relax. So then I had to find certain ways to be able to focus and to be able to relax. And sometimes what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And also what works one time may not work the next time, but finding different techniques, finding different tools that you can be able to use to be able to decompress. And again, like Kaisha and the other panelists said, it's important to be able to self-regulate, to take time for yourself, get physical. Who remembers this from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the way he dances? Anything that gets your body moving, helps burn out stress. Go dancing, take a ride on the bike, go hiking, play a game, reach out to a friend that maybe, can make you laugh. I was on a webinar not too long ago. It says that by laughing, you can lose weight. I'm still working on that. I have to laugh a lot to be able to lose weight. But you know what I found? Being able to laugh has really helped me to at least feel calm, not so much anxiety on me. I mean, I don't know about you, but laughing does help a lot, especially when you're so overly worked and overly stressed out about things that sometimes are out of your control. How many of us have gone without eating or sleeping because we're worried about the bills, our grandkids, or our kids are sick, or on COVID? We're not always eating healthy because we forget about ourselves. We forget that we also need to, we're also human. We need to sleep and we need to eat. A lot of us sometimes go without sleep. A lot of us go without eat. And sometimes those that have substance abuse issues, they'll continue to use substance abuse without even eating. They deprive themselves of sleep. And so right then and there, there's more of an open opportunity, window of opportunity to be able to say, hey, you know what, I need to get myself situated. And those that actually have substance use, it's also unfortunately a window of opportunity for them to start using and maybe relapsing. Those are the ones that for whatever reason, they're either being isolated because of COVID and they have mental health issues, or they have substance use issues and they've been on recovery, then they relapse because of stress. So unfortunately, it's a window of opportunity for that to be able to happen. So again, what do we need to do? We need to be able to self-regulate. Take time for yourself, take a breather, decompress. We have to be able to decompress our brain so that whatever happened throughout the day can be stored in all the little different files in our brain. We need to be able to relax, listen to music, hang out with your friends. Like I said, write on a journal, do something that makes you feel good about yourself, that helps you relax, do yoga, whatever it is, some type of meditation, watch the pet channel, National Geographic. Sometimes that helps others. There was one, when I did a group, it was a substance use group. And one of the gentlemen told me what he likes to do is he writes on his journal of the things that he used to do in the past. And it was the first time I ever heard that when he said that he likes to have accountability, but he can only do it through wording. Now, at first I didn't understand it, but I guess working through whatever pain he was going through because he had relapsed, I guess going back and writing on the journal was helping him to have some accountability and not to be able to do that or worry about whatever it is he was doing. But again, spend time by yourself, put the kids to sleep, don't go, be able to some sleep, go ahead and have some time to rest, go to sleep when you're supposed to sleep, and wake up when you're supposed to wake up, and eat when you're supposed to eat. Again, alcohol and other drugs make it worse. Sometimes people think that getting high or drunk will help them feel better. No, it's just a temporary fix, and it only makes things worse, especially if you already have substance issues. It is only going to make it worse. It makes your problems worse, and your problems don't go away by doing that. Alcohol and other drugs will only make stress. They add to the troubles at home and at work. I know a lot of kids that I've talked to in the past, I think it was in the spring, I took it back right before COVID, that they were constantly vaping. And I said, well, why vape? Not that I condone cigarettes, but why did you pick up vaping? Why are you vaping so much? He goes, well, because they had problems at school, at the house, or their father was laid off because of COVID, or whatever the situation. And it was easily accessible. What I found was the youth that were actually vaping and doing drugs, they were actually finding them at the home. So when I started talking to parents and having parent groups, they even admitted that their children were also doing the vaping and doing drugs because they were getting it from them. And it kind of threw me off, because how could you let your child do drugs? He goes, well, because they were having a lot of anxiety. I was giving them one of my Xanax, or I was giving him one of my Ativan, and trying to help the child, playing doctor, only made it worse, because the other child started using because of the euphoric feeling it was having. It wasn't because he was no longer having anxiety or whatever. Now they were using it because of the chemical reaction to the body. So people were, they have to be very careful what parents do. Try to help your child, take them to the doctor. They have anxiety, they're coping with some stress. Don't try to play doctor and try to give them any of your medication, because that alone will make it worse. And kids, they see everything, they read everything. Their child knows when the parent's overstressed, when the child knows, when the parent or the adult is angry, and they feed off of that. They can see that, they read that, and then themselves, they get also, they get stressed out. I know that if I'm stressed out, my grandkids see me and then they just start going on and on. What's wrong, Grandma? What's wrong, Grandma? And instead of them trying to help me, I get more upset and I have to try to figure out how to be able to handle that anxiety. So don't overeat, don't miss meals, don't isolate yourselves, reach out to other people, like Kaisha said, and there are some resources out there, wonderful resources. And it sounds like I'm babbling now, but again, regroup, spend time for yourself. You need to be able to have to be able to regulate. You have to have me. It's not being selfish to be able to say, you know what, you got to take care of you, because without you, you can't fix anything. Here it says, talk it out. You don't have anyone, you can't figure it out yourself. Talk to someone, reach out to someone. Do you feel that sometimes things are too much for you? I mean, I know for me and for many, that PowerPoint that I showed you, all those different stressors on a daily basis, they can be overwhelming. So talk it out, reach out. We have the Alcohol Drug Abuse Council. If you feel that you maybe possibly need some assistance, not necessarily just on substance abuse, but maybe it's a referral for mental health services, by all means, reach out, maybe for your parents, for the parents or other people that might need it. Here's our local office where the NACAN Coalition is a prevention mobilization community effort through the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council. You can visit us on Facebook and Twitter, or just call me, and we'll be able to help at least refer you to some of the resources that are available to us. That's all I have, Kaisha. And I apologize, my grandkids are with me. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you.
Okay, so actually, I have nothing else. I'm just glad that everybody that did came on tonight. And again, if you haven't done so already, type your name in the chat box so that I know who you are. And we're going to do a drawing for a door prize. And I will be contacting you later this week to let you know if you were our lucky winner of our door prize. I'm excited. Okay, that concludes our thing tonight. Look forward to doing this again. I'm trying to do our parent support groups at least once a month. So I'm hoping to do one in December. But in between that time, parents, if you need us, call us. We are here for you. Our goal is the same goal that you have, and that is to make sure that your child is successful by any means necessary. I tell my parents, I'm like, think of us as a member of your family. I'm just that other auntie. Contact us anytime. As a matter of fact, one thing that I am going to do, because I need to make sure everybody has this information. That is my cell number. 903-472-7071. Do not hesitate to use that. Call me. I'm here for you. I'm here for your baby. We are all here for your baby. Miss Kimbrough, Miss Arbello, Miss Taylor, all of us. Miss Carrie Reeder, Miss Cindy Vargas. We're all family. We're here for you to do whatever we need to do for your baby. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, anything? Okay. No? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to hopefully visiting with y'all next month. Hopefully next month we're going to have some interesting information. And hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Don't eat too much. And pray that I don't burn down the house trying to cook a turkey. Hearing about
Thank you, Miss Tut, and everybody else. I'm so glad to see everybody and be involved tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaisha.
Okay, y'all have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.